Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Is everything okay in Iowa? Oh.
The US presidential campaign is officially starting with the Iowa caucuses. To get a feel of the national mood, a team of AFP reporters sets out on a more than 1,000-mile journey across the American Midwest. The first stop is Clairton, in an industrial region of western Pennsylvania. The state was once reliably Democratic. But Don Furco, a union leader, says that changed 4 years ago.
A lot of my members feel that they were, their opinions on it were ignored, that the union should have endorsed Trump. Now, around the country, I don't know if that's changed or not, but I know my membership, they're still pretty, the majority of them are still behind Trump.
In a few months, Pennsylvania and other swing states will decide whether Donald Trump gets to stay in the White House. As he campaigns for re-election, the US president is taking credit for the hot economy.
Thanks to our pro-worker, pro-American economic policies, unemployment is at the lowest level in more than 50 years. It's great.
But here in the Rust Belt, manufacturing jobs continue to disappear.
When I first got out of high school, you could have got the day you walked out that door, you could have got a job, good paying, good health benefits, good pension, anywhere on a railroad, trucking, steel mills, the mines, anywhere, car factories. Now they're all gone. They put them under.
Drive about 160 miles to the north and you'll reach Ashtabula on the shore of Lake Erie in Ohio. The city used to have one of the largest iron ore ports in the world. Now it is much more quiet. Small businesses like Mary Wilson's medical uniforms shop struggle to compete with online retail giants.
Amazon's killing me. Amazon doesn't pay taxes. But they use schools, they use the roads, they use the police, fire department, military. They get all the benefits, but they're not paying into it.
Just like Pennsylvania, Ohio chose Donald Trump in 2016 after going to Barack Obama twice. Donald Trump has portrayed himself as a champion of blue-collar workers in America's heartland, but he has also used divisive rhetoric about immigrants.
Stone cold rapists.
In Ohio, where white people represent 80% of the population, Kelly Bullock Doherty and her husband Leroy say race relations have grown increasingly fraught.
We as minorities in particular have been more intentional about teaching our children about race relations. My oldest has been stopped by the police because it was reported that he was looking in windows
and he was just doing a fundraiser.
We have had those experiences, but not to the degree that our children are dealing with it at all. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree with that.
500 miles further, Brian Duncan hopes that things will get better at the farm where he raises 2,000 hogs in Illinois. The US and China have just reached the first phase of a trade deal. But for 2 years, the trade war took a toll on Duncan's operations, as Washington and Beijing slapped tariffs on each other.
If a Chinese importer bought pork, they had to pay an additional 70% to the government for pork that came from the United States. Therefore, we were more expensive than any place else in the world to get pork from, even though our pork here is the cheapest in the world.
The journey ends in Iowa. The population in this rural state is 90% white, and some Democrats say it doesn't reflect the diversity of their party. That's why the city of West Liberty stands out. It's the first in the state where Hispanic residents became a majority. 28-year-old Roselia Ocampo manages a restaurant, and she is getting ready to participate in the Democratic caucus for the first time.
To make America great again, you can't do it without immigrants. It's just not possible, because no one is going to pick up the work that we are currently doing.
Polls predict a tight race among Democratic contenders in Iowa. After that, the campaign heads to the state of New Hampshire.